A scene that feels so compelling and so real that you just can't help but be intrigued is something I did not expect from Steven Universe at all. But that's exactly what the episode title Fribo had. I hadn't really thought too much about Steven Universe after I'd watched it casually in 2013 and 2014 as a kid because there were other shows kids talked about more and were deemed cool. I was just a kid like anybody else, and I just moved from whatever show was cool enough and could entertain me long enough. When Steven Universe began airing in 2013, cable TV had already begun decreasing further in popularity, even further than it had in 2000. By some time in 2014, my parents also decided to pull the plug on cable TV, and at that point, it just felt like I had no reason to keep up with any of the cartoons I'd watched as a kid, and the memories of Steven Universe just faded until...
I mean a real job that you get paid for.
I'm paid in the smiles across the town's faces.
I don't see anyone smiling. You pick up a job to buy a house or raise kids or to impress your dad. You work away your life, and what does it get you?
Smiles and faces?
No. You get cash. Cash that can't buy back what the job takes. Not if you rode every seahorse in the world.
As a kid, it's a lot easier to remember.
Please, no more fries!
Than the small character moment before the climax of the episode. Just like Steven after Petey conveyed his feelings, the only thing I, as a kid, cared about was cool fights with the crystal gems. I didn't have a clue what Petey was talking about. I was just a kid with no job yet in the capitalistic system that Petey was talking about, and the only thing I could see in front of me was the good and bad guys like Steven had. But rewatching this episode as an adult, this was one of the most relatable scenes I'd seen and just compelled me much more than the episode's horror-esque climax. You might wonder how I would come across such a scene in a show that I had no care for after 11 years. And to that, I have to unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on what you think, respond with an Instagram Reels edit of Petey's Blues. It's easy to see how short-form content ruins its users' attention spans, but these Reels can also introduce us to new media despite the algorithm pushing the most things to rot your brain. And for that, I'm grateful for this Reel finding me, as it led me to Steven Universe, which was a show that ended up resonating far deeper than I would have ever thought for a kid's show. I always remembered Steven Universe being a charming and silly show from my childhood, but I didn't return to see if there was more substance for a young adult like myself because I just remembered it as that, silly. This simple Instagram Reels edit made me almost tear up because I hadn't really pondered about if my current track of going to college and getting a job was really all I wanted. Like Petey, I've grown up with my parents telling me what I should do, and I felt the pressure of not living up to those expectations ever since. For me, instead of continuing the family fry business, I was told that I just need to go to college getting a high-paying job. Well, I'm in college now, but I still have my doubts about if this is what will make me happy in the future. I mean, I know in the long run it'll make me happy with the house I can buy or the family I can raise, but is money truly everything? The passage of time is scary. Time we can never get back from a job we hate, even if we rode all the seahorses in the world, is so scary. Jobs are necessities in this world, but if we can never get that time back, I implore everybody watching to either find a job you enjoy or a hobby that makes life feel refreshing aside from that job. For me, I'm creating this YouTube channel as my hobby aside from my job. I've always loved consuming content, and I just thought that maybe this is the time to try and give back. If you ever feel trapped and pressured to be a certain way, just remember to stay true to your happiness. I'm not saying immediately quit your job if you don't like it, but foster a hobby that makes you happy while you keep the stability of a job. And maybe one day, that hobby will become the job that you love.